Right here we've got a GFCI. Fortunately, it does not really work. As you can see right here, it's a little bit destroyed. So we're gonna replace that. We got the breaker flipped off. We test it out with our hot stick. And we're gonna use the Milwaukee to change it. Flip it over to the flat tip here. Go ahead and start taking out these screws. Pull it out here best we can. You can see this thing is nasty. Unlike these YouTube influencers out here, it shows you all the pretty receptacles. I'm gonna show you the downright nasty ones. Go ahead and get our screws off here. Off of here. That thing's definitely seen better days. Now the way this is set up, we could hook it up the way the old one was hooked up. But honestly, you see there's two different wires underneath that red cap on the left and two different wires underneath that red cap on the right. One of those is going to be the wires feeding the voltage this direction, and that needs to go into the top half, the line side of the GFCI, where the other one is going to be the load side. If you run them just straight in like this right here, chances are you might have a situation where it will not kick when it needs to kick. It all depends on what it's hooked up to, so we're going to hook this thing up the right way. So we're going to start by unscrewing the caps here. Get them broke loose there. Now if you look back inside here, everything's grounded. This is the Romex coming from the left. This is the Romex from the right. You want to make sure you separate these. I've come in behind people before, including professional electricians who come in to fix jobs and they end up reversing one of the two. And then the GFCI ends up not working. You got to have your hot coming through the line side, and it's got to be the hot and the neutral on the same set of Romex. Everything's out of the way, nothing's touching metal. Flip back on the breaker. And now we're going to take our non-contact voltage tester here. Well, power is on the left, no power on the right. So the one on the left here is the set of wires that's going to be going into the line side of the GFI. Today we've got us a breaker by Eaton. It's a slim GFCI receptacle, 20 amp, 125 volt. Do make the kits with the cover plates if you break the cover plate, but in this situation, we just need this. Now remember, black girls like gold, white girls like silver. And if you got the green, it goes in between. That basically represents black for gold, which is your hot, white for silver, which is these right here. And then you got your green, which is your ground, which is your naked wire. Just think of it this way. If you got the green, you're going to get naked. It's just an easy saying so that you remember how these things wire up. Now the great thing about these is you take those screws, you loosen them up. You see how that little copper plate comes down right there? Where you stick the wires inside that hole, you tighten them up. So you could hook up two wires to each one of these terminals. In this situation, if you turn back here on the back, you're going to look and see where it says line and load. In this situation, the line is on the bottom, the load is on the top. The hot wire that we got here on the left is going to go to the line side. The load side is the wires that didn't have any voltage on it at all. Now for these screw heads, a slotted flat tip screwdriver will work. So will a Phillips number 2, or you can use a Robertson number 2 square, or you can use an ECX bit. Me personally, I like the R2 or the ECX, either one, because it reduces slippage. Once again, the ones on the left is going to be the hot one coming in. The line is on the bottom, which goes onto the gold here with the black. So I'm just going to pivot to the side here, slide it in behind it, tighten up that screw. Once I've got that screw tightened up there, I'm going to take that white wire that comes out of the same set of Romex on the left, and I'm going to put it on the opposite side of that black wire. And once that's done, you come up here up top, you plug in your other ones. The only one you want to have on that line side is going to be the one that's got the voltage going to it. Everything else, you could have two sets of Romex coming in here on the load side, and that's perfectly fine because you got spots to put them. Gonna plug this one in. We got our last one tightened up here. All that's left to do is take our ground wire. We got that wire tightened down on the ground up top. We're ready to reinstall the receptacle. Take it, push it back in place, line up your bolt holes on top and bottom. Flip over my bit to Robertson number 1. Now once I got that R1 bit installed, I'm going to run in those screws. But here's why I like the R1 bit. I can take my hand off of it right there. That's how nice and tight of a grip it offers. Then I just got to take them and run it in place. Tell you what, the grips on this Milwaukee right here is very nice. It allows you to grab it and run it in nice and quick. Matter of fact, I just recently picked up this 13-in-1 screwdriver. You want to check out the video on that, it'll be linked down in the description box below. Now all that's left is slipping back around to our flat head and putting the cover plate on, which we'll do here in a minute. Right now we're plugging up our tester. We're going to flip on the breaker, come over here and look at it. It's got a little red light glowing on the left. That's our reset button, resets it. Now we can test it right here, cuts it out. Boom, resets it. You can see it is wired up correctly. It is working correctly. So now our job is done and our customer ain't got to worry about unplugging something and electrocuting themselves. Now we can go label that breaker with a GFCI sticker. That way they know which one they're dealing with. Now because of where this GFCI is located, it actually protects the receptacle over here, one over here, and the one over here. Because that line is coming into the receptacle on the bottom side and it's feeding all the receptacles going out for the load. So if you got something go sideways on any of those other receptacles, it's going to cut out this GFCI breaker here. If you got a microwave microwave installed, all of a sudden it ain't working, you want to come over here and check that. Now, I'll just go ahead and tell you folks, there's plenty of you out there who do not know what the GFCI is. You don't know what its functions for, you don't know what to do whenever it trips out. That's why they got test and reset buttons built into it. They've also got GFCI breakers. But I've seen plenty of electricians come out over receptacles not working. It's $150 for them to come out, $150 an hour. You're talking about $300 just to flip a button. And to do what I just did, you're going to be paying for parts as well. Find somebody out there who knows what the hell they're doing. They're a handyman on the side. It's pretty reasonable for you to get them to come over and make some repairs. Just verify that they know what they're doing first. If you want to check out more content like this, I got plenty of stuff for you to check out on the YouTube channel. All you got to do is pop that clutch, subscribe, or follow along on these social media platforms for more.